What's up, chat? So today, I use ICC plus fair value gaps to make money. Let's talk about it. All right, let's scroll back to like 5 o'clock. So let's do like 7, because that's actually, I'm gonna be real, that's actually when I got into the markets, like 7 o'clock. 6, 6, 7. All right, 7 o'clock. So this is when I got into the market, right? So 7 o'clock, I came into the market and I already saw that we had like, oh, whoops. Sorry, that's what I was about to say. What the fuck? That's not how it looked. All right, let me go back. Boom. This is how the market looked when I got into it. Okay, so I come into the market. Boom. I start on the hour. I'm marking my stuff. I'm looking at what possibly could go on today. So boom. I look. Is this higher than this? Yep. So boom. I put this right here. And then I put this over here. So what does this mean up here? If we come back above this line right here, I'm looking for buys. That was that. That was that. If we come back below this, now peep here. I want y'all to peep here, chat. But is this an A plus textbook setup? No. But I'm gonna tell you why I wanted to take this trade. Now, if you could see at around the 6 o'clock time, we already took this liquidity down here. So this would be your indication right here, right? At this body. At the body, this would be another indication for you. So you could get into this trade right here at these bodies. But when I'm looking, now I'm dropping down for the 15-minute to see what's going on. Like see when the correction is going to end, okay? So when I drop down, I see that we had this huge move down, and we haven't touched this fair value gap that was created right here. And then this fair value gap right here, we have tapped into, but we haven't tapped into this one right here. Understand this, chat. A fair value gap is like, when you, this for guys and girls, when like you see a group of friends, and then you pick one of the friends and realize, oh damn, I should have picked the other friend. That's what fair value gaps are like, right? Sometimes the market will tap into the first fair value gap, respect it to do what it needs to do, but then it will come back and realize, oh, I picked the wrong friend. I want to pick the best friend out of the group. Sometimes, so it will come here and tap into that. I want you to remember that. The fair value gap the farthest away is the one that's probably the best probability. Okay? Always remember that. But, so, boom. I come into the market and it's 7 o'clock, 7:15, and I'm looking. I mark this fair value gap. And I tell myself, if we tap into that fair value gap and we get a strong move out of that fair value gap, I am getting into a trade. That is what I told myself. And mind you, you have a 5-minute fair value gap right here too. So watch what happens. As soon as 7:30 opens, boom. As soon as 7:30 opens, bro. And let me go. So as soon as 7:30 opens, I got in about right here. As soon as we cross this line again, I got in, put stops right here, and then I targeted these bottoms. There's a 2 to 8. I'm taking that as a great risk to reward. Great risk to reward. We haven't inverted any fair value gaps, so I got in. Then boom, what happens? 15-minute closes down here. I'm money. I'm green. I know. And then after we take right here, I trail my stop on the 1 minute. So if you guys want to collect extra profit, you go to like the 1 minute or 5-minute chart. Once you break, right? Once you break down, like I said, it'll come up a little bit, and then you start trailing, right? So once we broke my thing, I let it come up a little bit. I had my stops about, I think I had like 100 or something like that. I let it come up a little bit, and then boom, you trail. You trail. You trail. You trail. You trail. You trail. And then you would have got stopped out about like right here. So boom. This is the first. You keep trailing the top of the candle. So once it closes, you trail the next one. Once it closes, you trail the next one. And you would have got stopped out right here. So instead of making, what was that? So instead of making almost, let's see, what was that? Where was it at? Right here. So instead of making 436, you made 637. So you made about an extra 200 points trailing your stop loss. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the way. If you was like, oh, but trade and moving without me, I'm gonna catch some more to move. Just trail in the 1 minute or 5 minute, bro. But make sure you trail super closely, bro, because like you will lose money doing that way. But that was pretty much my confluence for today, bro. And what are y'all about to say? But trade is not ICC. Understand this. I wouldn't have been able to catch that trade if I didn't know what to look for. Remember, is this lower than this? Yeah, the line goes right here. But we're already under here when the market started, right? Okay, so I just need to see a rebalance and see if it wants to keep going that way. Boom, the fair value gap to a rebalance. Because remember what happens. Remember what happens, chat. Remember what I told you yesterday what happened with fair value gaps, bro. If fair value... So we took liquidity right here, right? And pretty much, we took liquidity right here, and we couldn't go down further. Why couldn't we go down further? Because pretty much this right here is a wall. Always remember that. This right here is a wall, right? This right here is a wall, and we can't go past that wall unless we go back to a fair value gap and grab a friend. So boom, at 7:30 we tap into that fair value gap up here, grabbed the best friend, asked that friend, can you run through this wall with me? And then boom, we boom down. That's all it needed to boom down. It just had to rebalance. So this is another thing how it would look like, because a lot of y'all were asking me like, Trey, how would it look like if we were correcting, but it doesn't close above the red line and it just taps it? This is one of those things where it does that. Look, taps, boom, money. So that was the trade I took today. Was it? Would you say it's like? Would you say it's textbook? No, I wouldn't say it's textbook. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't say it's textbook. This is a trade you take if you're used to fair value gaps, if you're used to ICC, and you know how market moves. Like that's a trade you take. Would I suggest y'all take this trade? Not without a little bit. Not if you haven't traded fair value gaps in ICC. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm 100% honest with y'all. But this is literally like something. This is something I took because I literally called it before the morning. I was like, hey, Brad, boom, 15 minutes, I'm in. Sometimes when you know, on me. But nah, that's it. I'm gonna make a video on fair value gaps so y'all can understand that too. Peace. Love y'all. Hope y'all banged today. And the market moved crazy. We'll talk about that later. Oh, peace.